Welcome to Texas 101. A lot of people tend to think that much of the cultural aspects and traditions that are within Texas are seen as country or are seen as the most American as it can be. That isn't the case. Most of the values and most of the traditions that are passed on through Texas and everybody in Texas from its generation after generation is something that stems from a little more than Spanish and Spanish-Mexican influence and actual very country or some would say country or American traditions. You know, me being from Texas, I'm very patriotic about my state. So I like to learn about everything that I know about Texas and just everything that brings Texas as a whole as a really good state. So aside from that, you know, a lot of people from Texas, you can't really go around the state without hearing like rodeo or hoosgaw or cinch, different terminology like that. So over the years, people have tend to realize or think to realize that those terms and terminology is very country, but those are just examples of how the Spanish influence is still around today in Texas. The whole point of this is to show for you guys to understand and see how much of the Spanish and Spanish-Mexican influence is still inside Texas today. You're going to see how it was created, how a lot of the influences and contributions are still around Texas today, and how the Spanish and Spanish influences, Spanish-Mexican influences are still lingering today and probably more so for the next many years. One of the major influences you'll see in Texas is Spanish marriages and marital practices. So back then, whenever they started making settlements and what they used to call tajas, married couples, men and women, used to have a kid, each both own land, and the women was entitled to at least 50% of the financial gains that the couples would actually gain, and the men were not allowed to actually sell or obtain any more land without the woman's permission. Another influence is many of the food aspects and ways they make food, like rancho stews and all that. Everybody sees ranch stews as, oh, that's country. Again, Spanish or Spanish-Mexican intervention of cooked meat with multiple vegetables and many other stuff like that. Another contribution that Spanish and Spanish-Mexican influences made to Texas was the ranching. So a lot of people think ranchers and cowboys as country and American. Again, Spanish and Spanish-Mexican influence. Much of the ranching methods and areas you find around Texas were actually founded by vaqueros from Spanish-Mexicans, and so they taught American and American settlements in Texas that were being established by Spanish rule at the time how to ranch, how to tend to their cattle and multiple livestock that they would have in their area of land, which will be bestowed upon to them by the Spanish crown. Another thing is so today all those marriages, all those influences and contributions will be seen today, save for like the rodeo. Texas is known for the rodeo. No one really thinks about how it came around. It actually started by the multiple settlements that were run by Spanish Mexicans. They would all come around and different owners would compare the different animals and livestock that they have actually held and judge their ownership. After some time, it steadily started becoming a competition, and and so much so that even schools and school districts in Texas even give days off to kids that even participate in these sports today. A lot of other things you will find, buildings and different aspects of Spanish culture are still lingering in Texas today. Alamo is one of the settlements, various other stuff. All in all, Texas is a great state, and a lot of stuff came out of Texas and will continue to stay strong in Texas. You know, they have even their own song just to show how much Texas is really Texas. The stars at night are big and bright, the heart of Texas. Thank you.